Hello and welcome to the next episode of Metagame Monday. Today we're going to be looking at another Kyogre team, but this one is going to be more about the overall consistency of the team instead of some creative decks like a Torkoal counteracting Rillaboom. This team I would recommend to any beginner since it's not kind of like the hyper-offensive team where you just spam a Stroll Brush and Water Spout and Tailwind. This team genuinely makes you learn how to switch around. It is a bulky offense team, that is, and if you play these teams, you're usually, usually you should expect some high caliber results. Because most of these hyper offensive teams just genuinely do well in the Swiss rounds, but they hit a brick wall against these more defensive teams in the top cut, played by better players, you know. This one should win you even if you just get the top cut, and you should feel good about yourself if you win with this team, because it was not the team that carried you, it was the way you played. So yeah, and it's not too hard to pilot either. It's all about positioning. So let's start with the variants. This team can have a Landorus instead of Zapdos on this team. It's usually used alongside Incineroar to completely annoy the opponent's physical attackers. You just Warning Shot, you Intimidate, then you switch to another Intimidate. Groudon hates this, so it gives you some, I would say a bit better matchup against the some teams, but Zapdos, well, it can have two different kind of variants. I kind of merged two of them together, but one of them is to run a Safety Goggles set with Roost and Eerie Impulse. The idea is that you still have the tech I'm going to talk about later. Spoiler alert, it's going to be using Zapdos instead of Kyogre to lure in Rillaboom and just knock it out. So this variant instead focuses on leading alongside Grimmsnarl. And the idea is, of course, to just go for Eerie Impulse and Screens and just... They lead with Kyogre, they have just successfully wasted their Dynamax, and you then have your own Kyogre to reverse sweep. So yeah, it's all about preparing the battlefield for the Kyogre to reverse sweep. Now, this is not the only thing you can do with Zapdos, of course. You can run a lot more HP, but most importantly, you can still do the late game Airstream sweep against Rillaboom. If they did bring Rillaboom to counteract a Kyogre in the back, you instead bring in Zapdos plus Zacian and you just reverse sweep them with a lot more safety. Since what are they gonna do? Grassy Glide Zapdos with Dynamax and Reflect? That they're hardly gonna do over 10%. So yeah, it's probably the most crafty member of the team. Life Orb can still be used on the Zapdos. I like Life Orb a bit more, it's more simple to play around with. Although the lead with Eerie Impulse, Zapdos, plus Roost, plus Blue Screens can be pretty brain dead, but I really like this Life Orb set on Zapdos since it is pretty much, it's basically a Dynamax, as much as it can be. It's a Dynamax sweeper as much as a Dynamax sweeper can be. It just does damage, like Kyogre does, but it's something different. So yeah, you got two options to Dynamax and they're fully worth it, both of them. So yeah, one of the, of course, most important game plans is to have Kyogre in the back to reverse sweep. Kyogre can also have Mystic Water, it can be speedy, it can have Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is pretty nice on Kyogre since it just slows down stuff like Shadow X and below Zacian range, Zacian speed range, so I like Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is probably even better if you run max speed, because in that case you just lower their speed and next turn you actually do outspeed their Shadow X and Zacian. So yeah, let's just run this spread instead. I really like it. Zacian Blade Earth is kind of necessary to make the matchup against Palkia bearable. And Substitute is also really good against the opponent's Trick Room teams. So you can just set up Substitute, annoy them with double Fake Out, and Kyogre is just super bulky, so it doesn't really get threatened very often under Trick Room. Of course, it can take max equips without Dynamax, but like, you know, just get the idea. And stuff like Gravel. And this is the bulky EV spread. It takes Regieleki Max Lightning without Light Screen, even if there are Modest, Rising Voltage, and Life Orb. Speed, you outspeed Thunders, which is super cool, and Adamant gives you this extra point for just 8 EVs, which is conservative. Now, the Grimmsnarl, actually we should run Scary Face. Scary Face on Grimmsnarl is for one single reason. You Scary Face Regieleki, and Kyogre with max speed actually outspeeds Regieleki and just simply KOs it if they have something like Life Orb. If they have Assault Vest, they are guaranteed to survive that. If they're going Focus Sash, they probably max something else and you just screwed up turn 1. But you should fix that in Best of 3 environment, for example. Light Screen and Reflect are self-explanatory. Spirit Break is its most consistent move to use. And 92 defense EVs, I believe, makes you survive the Behemoth Blade from Zacian if you stop Reflect and Intimidate them with Incineroar. Rest of the spread is put in the special defense, so you take Max Geyser from a Life Orb Kyogre. Incineroar Burning Jealousy is there for one single reason, and that's Zacian Thunderous Lead. With... Actually, excuse me, that spread is a bit weird. Okay, this one is better. So what does this spread do? You do take a Max Earthstream from +1 Thunderous. Plus you take neutral Sacred Sword. Both of these attacks you take under Reflect. And you can Burning Jealousy them and just completely ruin the Zacian and Thunderous for the rest of the game. Fake Out plus Flare Blitz is the self-explanatory move, same applies for Burning Shot. Shuca Berry gives you more consistency against Groudon teams. Yeah, that's the Incineroar. Rillaboom is there just to be obnoxious for opponent's Kygers. Excuse me, that's the wrong spread yet again. I just copy all of these Pokemon from all my old teams, and in my... I usually don't think that much while leveling, so... Yeah, this... yeah, but so... Why did I change that? You need Adamant Max Attack today to one-shot Kyogre guaranteed. 4 HP Kyogre, of course. You don't KO the Dynamaxer, you do not have 100% chance to KO the bulky 252 HP Kyogre either, but this one does it better. If you're scared again, if you're scared of Shedinja, because it literally today it won a regional championship. So if you're scared of Shedinja and you want to use Assault Vest Rillaboom to be as obnoxious as possible against opponent's Kygers, you can use Knockoff. By the way, Gmax Ram Solo actually hits Shedinja. Not only the Gmax moves have 160 base power, they have the ability ignoring thing as well, so you can just kind of do damage to Shedinja, even though if they Light Speed you break its Focus Sash, that's just super cool. And if you Dynamax and Shedinja is already happy that it already won, you can knock it off and the Shedinja is just screwed. So yeah, that's the team, I guess. Let's do 1 or 2 games with it. Let's just do this because there is still there is the regional championship happening in Syracuse right now, so I want to finish watching that. So let's just do 2 battles today. Yeah, just literally look at here. Or them on Assault Vest, eh? Oh, okay. In that case, we just have Miracle Seed and we I mean, yeah, we can have run another item on Kyogre, but I really like Assault Vest. You can run Weakness Plus on Kyogre for some meaty plays, but we're gonna run Miracle Seed, so we're super powerful with Rillaboom. Yeah, we can I like Life Orb Rillaboom as well, because it allows it to one-shot Zacian with Max Quake, I believe, and also one-shot bulky Regieleki. Some Regielekis will like Tron Bulk because they are already so speedy, so yeah, the extra Life Orb boost can be handy there. Now Dialga. This looks like a bad matchup because they got Dialga, but Kyogre is just a better Pokemon, so you shouldn't be too worried about that. Now I'm worried about Rillaboom, but Zapdos is pretty horrible against the rest of the team. Like Grimmsnarl kind of is light screens and then Spirit Breaks. Regieleki just resets everything. Ho-Ohs just do bulky Dialga with likely Dynamax, and I'd be much more glad to use a Kyogre against the Liners. They don't have Kyogre, so we can. I guess we could just lay in center Grimmsnarl and have the standard backup just to, yeah, okay. We got Shuca Berry, so even if they fake out the Grimmsnarl, I can survive this. I can survive this Max Quake. And I'll just light screen. Homer is on, so yeah, we can just... Okay, so here comes the fake out. Probably going to be just a flash cannon, which of course one-shots Life Orb. Yep. By the way, this is a Scared Face, Fake Tears, Fake Out, Spirit Break, Max Speed, Max HP, Focus Sash Grimmsnarl. Which means we can just kind of switch to this guy, go for this guy, just go for Water Spout, and they go literally nothing against us. I mean, this is the usual set what you run with Grimmsnarl Dialga Lead, so when I was like laddering a lot back in like a month ago. So this still can be dual screens fake out, but I'd be really surprised. Jeez. I mean, this team is kind of all over the place as well. Okay, we outspeed this should go to Grimmsnarl as it does. Roar of Time, it does not want to Dynamax that thing. So, Regieleki, I guess that's a Regieleki. Oof, alright, I think we should just take the Max Lightning. It's not Life Orb. Oh, that's gotta be a Southwest physical then. In that case, we're gonna switch into Zacian to sacrifice it. And we're gonna Burning Shot Regieleki to lower its attacking power. Oh, it just gets for Electro Web. Fantastic. So here goes my perfect play. Okay, Kyogre is super safe right now. I don't think Dialga carries the Zacian right now. Now that's going to be a Focus Sash Regieleki then. And they probably max whatever they have in the back, that being Landorus, Rillaboom, or Ho-Oh. So the question is, do I just go for Hailstorm here? I mean, Ho-Oh just gets smacked anyways, Landorus gets smacked anyways, and Rillaboom doesn't get smacked by Geyser, so I'm not missing on much. Okay, switch to something like a Rillaboom. Oh, okay. That's just... Oh, okay. Okay, we at least go to Dialga. That was a disaster of a play. And it's... I thought that was a safety goggles, but it's leftovers. Well, this is a catastrophe. Really want to KO that Regieleki right now. I'm gonna Max Strike it. I think that... I mean, that does even more than Hailstorm, you know, so that should just KO. And Intimidate should help me lift the Ho-Oh's attack. It could be a special Ho-Oh as well. Does so much damage to Kyogre still. That probably counts if that's physical. Yeah, and that's a loss, unfortunately. Yeah, I thought this was going to be the Southwest Dynamax, but I probably played too much Hyper Offensive Eleki. This is just probably the standard Focus Sash set. And yeah, Ho-Oh just wins this matchup, so... Oh well. Well... I could have played that one better, definitely. Like, of course I could have played that one better, like... Yeah. There were a lot of mistakes, and, like, weird predictions as well. So, yeah. Alrighty, so we got, yeah, it's kind of a bad matchup here. Of course, Groudon, any Groudon, Gastrodon... Oh yeah, I should just go over the matchups. So yeah, Groudon, Gastrodon is just going to be a bad matchup. If they got Regieleki as well and Venusaur, like... Yeah, someone really hates Kyogre here, but that's fine. Kyogre is just the best Pokemon in the game currently. So like, I can't be really too angry on my opponent. And what I'm probably bringing Rillaboom and Kyogre. The Landorus would make this matchup a lot better. That's going to be a Sleep Powder spam as well. You know what's the worst thing? This is probably going to be a Sword Dance Groudon. Yeah. switch to Kyogre and go for a Fake Out in the Venusaur. Well, that's great, I guess. Nice guys here. I guess I can Parting Shot. This Groudon is not living that. Wait a minute. Geyser? You know what's Geyser? I don't believe they switched to Gastron either. Of course, that's just kind of like a... well, it's depending on what your opponent wants to do. Fake Out is legitimate if you think they go for Water Spout. If you think they go for Max Geyser, you know, let's go for Water Spout. I think that gets through. I mean, the Fake Out play is so obvious, and like the Max Geyser play to avoid Fake Out is so obvious that this is a better play. Hey, looky. That was a good play, and now we just switch to this guy. Now the question is, does this Water Spout just simply carry the ground on? That's a better question. I believe. Like, no way that lives there, right? So let's go over the matchups quickly. Of course, the mirror matchup is mostly going to be about just slowing down the... Wow, it lives that, like, easily. Lol, okay. I didn't expect that. Why that's so... Like, I expected this to be like 90% or something, but no, it just does 69%. Damn! Okay. So in this play, you just go for Grassy Glide plus Water Spout, okay? Next time. Next time, you just... At least you saw that roll on the ground on, but yeah, this is likely a loss. They got Incineroar and Venusaur to finish off my Rillaboom in the back. Wow, I play like trash. So yeah, let's... okay, let's think about a matchup. So, Kyogre, you usually want to go for substitute spam when Zacian to waste their max turns and then reverse with your own Kyogre. If you think they bring in Rillaboom, you can just do some shenanigans with like Light Screen plus Zapdos. And maybe have like Rillaboom to finish off the Kyogre in the back. So probably like Grimmsnarl, Zacian, Rillaboom, Zapdos if you want to. I think that's a matchup against Kyogre. Against the Sun, you want to annoy them with Incineroar if you can. Set up dual screen, slow their Venusaur down. And of course reverse sweep with Kyogre. And Rillaboom is supposed to be your counteraction against the Gastrodon. You do need to have Rillaboom against the Gastrodon, or else the Zacian, Incineroar, or the Grimmsnarl combo, for example, just is not sufficient enough alongside Kyogre to just deal with the Gastrodon. You need to bring in Rillaboom and Kyogre against the Sun matchup. And if I scared you a little bit with that Sun matchup, you can swap out Landorus for Zapdos. Now, the Trick Room matchup, you just want to go for Zacian and slow them down in Incineroar and Rillaboom Fake Out and just set up a substitute. Maybe dual screens, and Kyogre is incredibly obnoxious with its max. And you can swap out the Hyper Beam for Thunder to set up Electric Train so Amoonguss does not annoy you inside the Trick Room. Against Trick Room, against the, not Trick Room Hyper Offense, Talon Hyper Offense, you just wall them out. Go Grimmsnarl and Incineroar. Hopefully they just don't lead with Kyogre. If they have Kyogre, I might recommend leading with Rillaboom plus Grimmsnarl. This combo is pretty annoying for Specs, Shadow-Rax, Life Orb, Lucky. Even the Kyogre has to just be an absolute AVE of this Rillaboom. So, yeah, I think Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom, or Incineroar, Grimmsnarl is the best combo against that. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Alga's not a problem. Go to Sword with Kyogre. Lunala. Well, Lunala is kind of like in the development phase now, so like a lot of people are innovating around Lunala, so I can't give you exactly the directions where to go, but I think, yeah, you need to watch out with Incineroar because the Meteor Beam just KOs it. You can set up the light screen, but it's probably not worth to lose this much HP on Incineroar for it. Kyogre is probably the key if they have Gastron like Wolfie does right now in Top Cut. Oh la la. Oh la la. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah, I can run the knockoff on Rillaboom. If you run some speed on Rillaboom as well, you could technically just outspeed the Lunala and just knock its Power Herb off, so that's some food for thought. Of course, you would need to run quite a bit of speed. So maybe something along these lines, I think, to be safely outspeeding it. And then you can go for some media placement and Incineroar and Kyogre, of course, in the back. So, yeah, I think I covered every single matchup I needed to. I'll catch you next Monday, and have a nice day. Be seeing you.